Okay. G'day everybody, welcome back to another episode of Crafted by Tim. Currently I'm having quite some issues with another project, so I decided that I'd have a go at something different whilst trying to think of something in spring steel. The thought crossed my mind to use hacksaw blades as spring steel, but they snapped. So yeah, back to the drawing board on that one. But in the meantime, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, and I also wanted to have a go at this for quite some time. So I'm going to be using hacksaw blades to make Damascus steel, hopefully. Not sure whether or not this is going to work. Now the first step is to take the hacksaw blades from this black coating, I think it's like a powder coating that they come with, and turning them and cleaning off all of that, or as much as I can, to give me a nice clean surface to do the forge weld on. Now, that's the first step. Before I go any further, I made a list of all the things that I reckon are going to go wrong, because for one, I don't really know what I'm doing. Two, I don't know whether my forge is big enough. Three, I don't know whether my forge is going to get hot enough. 4, I don't know what type of steel these hacksaw blades are. And 5, I don't even know what sort of quality steel these hacksaw blades are. I'm pretty sure that they're high carbon, but I'm not sure what sort of high carbon steel there is, because there are thousands and thousands of different types of high carbon steel. So it's kind of just, you know, I guess you get what you're given, but these are hacksaw blades that I get from Kmart, and you get them for like, I think it's $2 or $3 for 10. But yeah, I'm going to get a bunch more of these tomorrow, and we're going to see what sort of result we get. But first we got to cut these down, so I made myself a little bit of a jig. So this is my jig, basically just 2 holes in a piece of wood and a few markings on it that's going to later on tell me how big to cut my metal. Now you'll probably notice that each one of these spaces is still quite small, and the reason because of that, my forge is quite small. As I said, I don't know whether or not my forge is going to be big enough. So by doing it this way, hopefully I'll be able to utilize what size build I have. So what this jig does is, by using 2 screws to hold the hacksaw blades with the holes that they come with, I screw them down, and it allows me to have just a little bit of overhang on the edge that has the teeth. There you go. So I'll be able to line this up, and using the grinding stone for an angle grinder, cut-off wheel, or a flat disc or whatever, I can cut off all of the teeth, and then I can sand this down either using the linisher or flat disc. But first things first, we're gonna screw these down and then take off the teeth and start working on sanding off this hacksaw blades to process. Right now I'm also cleaning the rest of them. I think so far 10 plus 27 5. So I've done 27 and a half hacksaw blades. Now, the strenuous part of making sure that these are absolutely clean, 100%. So here I've got a piece of 320 grit sandpaper glued to a board. I'm just going to clamp this onto the table. Doesn't move too much. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ones out of here, which have been sitting in a WD-40 bath for about 24 hours. A little bit less. I went out and I bought this massive 4-liter container of WD-40. Cost me $40. So I really hope this works. Essentially, I let them soak in the WD-40. There's 12 in there right now. All cut up. So 12 times 4, whatever that is. 48. Yeah, so there's 48 in this satay jar. I've also got the ones here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out, rub them on the sandpaper for a bit, and once they're clean, I'll chuck them back into this small container. I'm going to fill this one up halfway with some WD-40, and I'm going to let them sit in that as well. So that way I have 2 stages. So from getting cut up and cleaned, they're going to go in here for 24 hours, and then from here we're going to get rubbed on some 320 grit sandpaper. They're going to go back into a new, fresh, clean container of WD-40, and once they've soaked in this for 24 hours, they'll come out again and go back onto some 320 grit sandpaper. And then from there, they should be ready to be 412. I have a lot of work to do today, so time to get started. Okay, so you just saw me cut 2 of these pieces of rebar down to size. Basically what I'm going to do, and round off the edge so I get a good weld. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this to my stack here. This is 30mm wide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this to this. This is more or less completely clean. I'm hoping that anything that I've missed is going to be something that will just sort of get burnt out. I'm really nervous about that though. I'm just hoping that I got as much as possible. I have to make sure that my welder is set to really low ampage. I'm going to weld this to here, and then I'm going to run 2 of these along it. The reason why I'm doing it that way is so I have something for my ground to be connected to. There we go. I'm not sure whether or not the welds are going to really show up in the final piece of Damascus. I imagine they will be, but if I do it well enough, then they might sort of blend in. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make 2 stacks, and then what I'm going to do once hopefully if I forge weld these. I'll be able to draw it out a little bit till it's about 2 centimeters thick, and then I'll be able to put a twist in it. I'll do the exact same thing with the other one, and then I'll grind down a surface to clean them up, and then I'll forge weld them together again. Hopefully, that's kind of the plan. End up losing this one. Arc welding there was really, really bad. It's kind of come apart. So here I've done a test, and move that out of the way. So here I've done a test, and you can see these few cracks in it, and that's where it's failing the hardest. But it doesn't look too bad. It seems to be mostly intact. I'm really worried about that. I think I might have to actually re-weld that. I'm not sure how else I can hold it. So I thought this didn't work at all. I have cooled this down, but you might be able to see there that there is no layer. It's missing, or almost completely missing a layer. And that means that there was a forge weld there. You can't see the transition between that layer there
and the one above it, or you can just really faintly see it. I can't really see this camera what it's doing, but somewhere there should be a line, but there isn't, which means that I just forge welded. So yeah, I thought this didn't work at all, but it turns out that it actually kind of is. Now, that's quite cool. So I can snap that off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up with a an angle grinder with a wire wheel on it. I'm going to clean up this. I'm going to clean up this. I'm going to clean up all the sides. See whether or not I can clean in between these gaps, which there's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to do. But if I can clean this up a bit, then I might be able to continue forge welding today. Yeah, anyway, I'm super excited because this is actually working. Kind of. Take 7, I think.
I am flesh and I am bone. Rise up, ting ting like glitter and gold. I got fire in my soul. Rise up, ting ting like glitter. Like glitter and gold. Like glitter. Everybody in the back room, spin it out. Don't have what you're asking for. And everybody in the front room's turning out. You left your bottle at the
understand it. So basically, you have your two pieces of metal. And when you stack them on top of each other, they don't do anything. They just sit there. But when you heat it up, the outside layer of the piece of metal will heat up first. And that's what's been happening. The outside heats up first, and it becomes a semi-liquid, and once it gets hot enough, it becomes a semi-liquid phase. So phase is a solid, liquid, or gas. It becomes halfway between solid and liquid. It becomes a semi-liquid, which means that the outside is liquid, but the inside is still solid. When you heat these two layers up together, they just sit on top of each other. They can't do anything until some kind of interruption is applied. And that's what the hammer is. It interrupts, and what it does is, if you've ever jumped into a swimming pool, done a belly flop, or just jumped off something really high into water, you'll notice that when you hit the ground, when you hit the water, it's like hitting the ground. It hurts. And that's called surface tension. And there's the same thing with metal, except it's harder. So you'll have your two liquid layers, but they'll be just skirting over the top of each other. Once you hit them, they lock in, they fuse, and essentially that's what's been happening. When you hit the hammer, they fuse together, and then when they cool, they're joined. And essentially that's how this works. But the reason why it's only soft hits is because you only have to tap it to break the surface tension. It's like dropping a penny into a swimming pool. When the coin hits the water, it's black. When you hit the hammer onto these two pieces of metal that are stacked on top of each other in a semi-liquid phase, it splashes. And that's how they fuse. But if you hit it really hard, what you're doing is you're displacing the water. Or you're displacing the liquid. It's like doing a bombing in a swimming pool. It sends the water all over the place. And that can be quite dangerous. It becomes a fire hazard. You're spurting hot metal all over the place. And it also hurts a lot. If you just do light taps, you're only breaking the surface tension. You're not sending liquid everywhere. And that's essentially how you get a successful weld. I am actually really, really surprised, actually. I am quite surprised, considering that all the different things that could have gone wrong today, and yet I am still getting at least a partially successful forge weld. I'm really, really excited. This is amazing. This is like the coolest thing that I have ever done, ever. Okay, so I've been working on this for about 5.5 hours. It's pretty labor intensive, but I think I've gotten a successful forge weld. Now, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to lose a fair bit of this because some of it didn't forge weld very well. Anyway, right now, just in there. That's still pretty damn hot. And I'm going to leave it in there to normalize. Where's the lid? It's like really hot. Okay, so I'm going to leave it in there to normalize for a bit. And turn you back around. Okay. And essentially, once it has normalized, which will probably take a few hours, I'm hoping to be able to get this done tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lob off one end, I'm going to grind a flat spot on it, or a few flat spots. Right, just grind down all the sides, lob off the terrible ends, and grind back the other one, basically drop it in some acid for a little bit. So I'll catch you when I'm forge welding them both together. If it works. Hopefully it will. Anyway, thanks everybody so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button as it helps me out a great deal. If you have any tips on this for me, also leave a comment, as I would like to get in, do this a little bit more. I have spent an awful long period of time on this project. I've learnt a lot though, and I'm actually really happy with what I've learnt. But anyway, I'm proud of this. And I reckon I can make something really cool out of it. So you guys, I hope you guys stick around. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button, as I said before. Remember to stay safe, happy crafting, and as always, Cheers.